probably something that people don't think about a lot and people don't focus on. Because when we have killings like Ma'Khia Bryant, who's the 16-year-old that was just murdered by the police, we just think about the police, which, don't get me wrong, I want them held liable too. But we don't think about the surrounding circumstances around that. Ma'Khia Bryant should not have had to call the police for being bullied. She should not have had to. And because she had to, I feel like not only did the officer who killed her be jailed, but so should the family, the parents and the child, who were the reason for her calling the police, be jailed as well. And here's why I think that. Nowadays, unfortunately, calling the police for help can end with Black people losing their lives. We are all aware of this now. We're all aware of this now. This is why racist people will threaten to call the police on us, because they know that it can result in us going to jail, and which can escalate to us losing our lives. In a lot of these cases, it does. So Ma'Khia Bryant had to call the police because she was being bullied, threatened, whatever was happening to her. I'm quite sure there were threats. We don't know all the details yet. But she should have never had to call the police. And I feel like the family of the kids that were bullying her, kids, I'm not sure. I don't know all the details yet. We know it was a bullying situation. Should be held accountable for her death as well. And that's probably a unpopular as fuck opinion. People are probably going to be like, you're crazy. We just need to hold the police accountable because, they didn't tell them to go there and kill them. Listen to what I'm saying. They should also be held accountable. I definitely want the police officer who shot and killed her held accountable. Absolutely. But had she not had to call the police because you are not controlling your children, your minor children are out here bullying other children, creating problems that this little girl feared that she had to call the police, your ass should go to jail, and so should your children. I don't have sympathy for y'all. I don't have any sympathy for bullies. I have zero sympathy for bullies. I never have and I never will. I grew up, let me tell you, I was a fighter. I nipped my bullying in the bud so fast. When I had it in elementary school, I started fighting. Nipped that bullying shit in the bud. Middle school, did I fight? I don't know if I fought in middle school. But I think I got mad and went in. So that might have been something that happened. That issue was resolved. High school, I had no issues until I got in like the 11th grade or something. And these girls wanted to fight me and my cousin because they liked the boys that we was dating and all type of dumbass elementary, high school shit that that's what it was. I know that's what it was. I'll never forget what it was. And then I got mad and wanted to fight them. And then they were scared of me. So it was like, here it is. The tables are turned. I wasn't bullying them, but I was letting them know, like, listen, I'm tired of y'all bullying me. And I will fight. When I get ready to fight y'all, I'm going to fight y'all. And ain't nobody going to stop me. It was hard to get me to stop after that. Because every time they even looked my way, I was ready to fight. But if I have to call the police because you are bullying me and the police come and I end up dead, you need to be held liable. That's how I see it. That is how the fuck I see it, y'all. I shouldn't have to call the police because we know the police in a lot of these cases end up being our worst enemy instead of our helpers. They're not our public servants. They end up being our public murderers is what they end up being. 4 times in the chest, you shoot a teenage girl. She has scissors. And you got tasers and a gun? Oh, and yes, you know the difference between tasers and guns. They don't look alike. the officer who killed Dante Wright in Missouri, who tries to pretend like she didn't know the difference. They don't look alike. They didn't even tase this girl. They went straight to shooting her 4 times in the chest. And I can understand that kids can be upset and unruly and don't think logically. I get that. Hell, adults do that. But you are not about to convince me that this little girl was so much of a threat that you had to shoot her 4 times in the chest. You didn't even resort to a taser. You went straight to shooting her. Scissor. I mean, yes, I have seen it. I saw the video with the white lady who came at the police officer after he told her to stop. And he was a black officer. And she was calling him the N-word and everything else. And she charged him with them scissors because she was fueled on drugs. I get that. And I saw that. And she was charging that police officer with those scissors. And she died. She got shot and died. I saw that video. Yeah, I get that. But the officers so far have made no mention of this girl charging them. That little girl would not charge the police officer because the police officer wasn't the bully. I don't even think the bully was present. I don't even think the bully was present. So why would she just randomly charge the police officer? Like the logic already is not there already. So for them to try to sell us and say that she was charging the police officers, I already don't believe that. I already don't believe it. I already don't believe it. Because if she was charging you, a taser is going to put her down. I heard nothing about a taser being pulled yet. And taser was pulled on this little girl. It didn't work. Nothing. I hear nothing of that. So it's some pieces of this puzzle that are missing. But even if the puzzle's pieces are brought together, she should not be dead. This little girl should not be dead. And I know but Ma'Khia Bryant is her name, I believe. I say little girl because she's a little girl. She was 16. Listen, I'm 47. I'm way old enough to be her mother. This is a little girl to me. This is a baby. She's 16. She was. And now she's not. Now she lost her life. And there is nothing that these police officers can say to me. There's nothing that families, that bullies families or her bully can say to justify her being dead. And it's high time in situations like this that the people who call the police unjustly, the people who make false reports and claims and all this other shit, it's high time they start going to jail. It is the people who called the police on George Floyd in front of that store, I think they should be held liable. Listen, the people that from the police calls on down, especially if the police come out there and this person doesn't even need to be accosted or jailed or any of that shit, and you using excessive force, from them on down, everybody should go to jail. If they start changing these laws to match those kind of circumstances, I bet you these motherfuckers will stop calling the police for no reason. I bet you these motherfuckers will stop bullying people, excuse my language. I bet you raise your children and tell your little motherfucking children not to bully other people. I bet you that happens. I bet you have control over your kids then, if you went to jail. Just like your ass goes to jail when they're truant, you need to go to jail when shit like this happens. When they bully little girls and beat them up and stab them in Walmart, your ass need to go to jail too, because what the fuck were you raising your child to do? When they jump little girls in bathrooms and bang their head against sinks and them little girls die, you need to go to jail with your children, because you should have raised your kids better. And anybody can say whatever they want to say. Oh, once they get out of your sight, let me tell you something. Mine is out of my sight, but I bet you she won't play with me. I bet you she would not play with me. She's not in my sight. She's in my sister's care. And I only put her with my sister because I know my sister is an excellent aunt to her. And she's not going to let her play with her or anybody else, just like I won't let her play. Children are children. I love my daughter. She is spoiled to death. But when I tell you I don't play no games, I don't play any games, and neither does my sister. We're not playing no games with you. You're going to be raised right, and you're going to act like you was raised right. You are not about to be out here in these streets bullying people so they got to end up calling the police and end up dying. You're not bullying these people so they end up committing suicide. This bullying situation just led to somebody being killed by the police. Y'all got to get this shit under control. And when y'all start going to jail, along with these dirty ass overreacting cops, you'll see that people not playing with y'all. And that this is more serious than what you fucking think it is. Control your fucking kids. Control your kids. It starts at fucking home, just like they say. It starts at home. And this shit should have started at home so that little girl could be at home.